Hi everyone, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping, and I titled this video From Dead Cows to Bored Cows and Everything in Between. So this is just going to be a roundup of what's on the news, some of the headlines that are pretty important and things that you might be interested in. And the first thing we're going to look at is from PrincipiaScientific.com. PrincipiaScientific.com. And this is from Australia, and it's October 7th. And the instant death of cows who received the jab. A friend informed me that the neighbor, a dairy farmer, is forced to vaccinate her herd. She complied with 200 head of cattle, and 35 died instantly. And what it does also is it alters the milk and the butter and the yogurt and the cheese. And it said, will chickens and other meats be next? Time to grow your own, folks, and maybe develop herds that are private, non-tagged, and never jabbed. So there we have it. This is Australia. And you say, oh, well, Australia, that's not the U.S., but you know they test things out in these other countries and they bring them over here. This one is from GreatGameIndia.com. GreatGameIndia.com. Here's where you can take shelter during a nuclear war in the U.S. Now, the thing about this is that you're going to have to plan ahead if you're going to go to one of these places. But here's a map of the U.S., and all these blue areas are where it's most safe. Not really totally safe, but most safe. And the red zones are the least safe. Of course, the whole East Coast is almost a red zone. And they say the most safe places are Maine, Central Idaho, Oregon, and Northern California. So those have low priority targets there. So if you'd like to check out what areas are the most safe, this is the map for you. But as I said, you're going to have to plan ahead. You'd have to have a place there now and know to get there. That's the other thing. And this is from reclaimthenet.org, reclaimthenet.org. Majority of voters say the media is a threat to democracy, and we know that. We know they're a threat to democracy. And the same website, reclaimthenet.org, invasive tech analyzes your voice for signs of mental illness. Call centers are already testing it. Now, what this means is that they're going to analyze your voice and see if you have any of the biomarkers for anxiety, depression, respiratory illnesses like asthma and COVID and cardiovascular conditions. Problem with this is that eventually they're going to say, hey, we can analyze the voice to see if you're a criminal, to see if you're thinking those bad thoughts, whatever they happen to be, to see if you're conservative. So although it sounds good, hey, there might be something wrong. Of course, is a call center going to tell you that? I doubt it. They'd have to report it to someone who would then have to get in touch with you, I would think. And then the same website, reclaimthenet.org, MasterCard just outlined its digital ID push. So they're pushing for a digital ID. Naturalnews.com, America's diesel inventory now stands at less than 1 month, thanks to Biden's disastrous policies. So it says, and this is October 21st, today's 22nd. There'll probably be enough to last through the midterm election. And you know, everything runs on diesel if we really are this low on diesel. And that's the other thing. You never know, are these sites telling the truth or aren't they? Are we really at an all-time low for diesel inventory? I don't know. I can just give you these headlines and let you decide for yourself. and then what you should do. But everything comes through diesel. Diesel trucks, diesel boats, diesel, all kinds of diesel that you might want to stock up if you think that's true. Bird flu spreads to Southern California, infecting chickens, wild birds, and other animals. And this is the LA Times, Los Angeles Times, latimes.com. So we have bird flu there. It's going to this mean we're going to have fewer chickens on the market, fewer eggs. And then this one is from the HalTurnerRadioShow.com. Breaking news, 4 more regions in Ukraine to hold secession referendums to join Russia. And he names these 4 states in Ukraine who are going to try to secede from Ukraine and join Russia. And this is from Stanford Medical. med.stanford.edu. Human brain cells transplanted into rat brains hold promise for neuropsychiatric research. This is always scary when they do stuff like this because they're eventually going to go the other way and implant in our brains these different cells. And from tyranny.news. Fact-check labels don't mean anything is objectively a fact, court rules. And what happened was John Stossel, a journalist, sued Facebook and said it wasn't a fact and that they were fact-checking. And the court disagreed and said actual facts are not necessarily involved. They don't really matter. He says the only thing established is that Facebook deems such content as such. So if social media says this is not a fact and they're going to throw you off or whatever they happen to do, it's okay because Facebook decided that. It's just subjective. Interesting. HeadlineWealth.com, California entrepreneur fined for drawing informal maps without a license. HeadlineWealth.com, U.S. heating worries mount amid growing costs and uncertainty. And we know that the prices are going up so much now. And then cost of food is going up. What are you going to choose for food, or what amount of fuel oil are you going to choose to stay warm? So I would advise you now to start thinking about that by stocking up as much as you can on food and even heating oil if you use it and if you can. And SarahACarter.com. I just thought this was interesting. The rats are winning. New York City rat sightings up 70%. 311 service request line overwhelmed. And this is October 21st. So the rats are winning in New York. And now we come to the bored milk or bored cows. Okay, this is called Bored Cow, and it's a new product. And it's an animal-free dairy milk, and you're saying, oh, well, they have that already. They have almond milk and oat milk and all of that, but this is different. If you look at what it is, milk made by invisible cows. How can bored cow be an animal-free and dairy at the same time? The secret is fermentation, one of nature's most magical processes. Imagine a microscopic dairy farm where invisible cows called microflora chow down on plant sugar and turn it into real milk protein. It's a new way of making dairy that's better for people, animals, and the planet. So it's animal-free. We've never milked a cow and we never will. It tastes just like milk. Okay. What is animal-free dairy? And as we read here again, it's real dairy made without a cow. They figured out how to make a milk protein using fermentation. Once we have our non-animal whey protein. Now, I'm not sure how you get non-animal whey protein, but that's what they got. We add plant-based ingredients that replicate the rich, creamy flavor of dairy. And you know they've got to add chemicals, too. Then they supercharge it with vitamins and minerals. And it's a vegan-friendly dairy that looks, feels, tastes, and acts just like the real thing. So, can I consume it if I have a milk allergy? And no, because while it's dairy, animal-free dairy milk is lactose-free and hormone-free and cruelty-free. It's not dairy-free. The non-animal whey protein we use is identical to the whey protein found in traditional cow milk. So if you have a milk protein allergy, you won't be able to drink this. So that's the new thing that I just discovered, bored cows. So we're going from the dead cows to the bored cows to, they're going to be trying to make everything meatless and not use meat at all. So be prepared. Stock up on some canned meat before it too is outlawed. So let me know what you think of all these headlines, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.